Welcome to another episode of Conversation and Cocktails with your host, me, Lenny B. In this episode, we talk to Mike Rivera, aka Puerto Rican Myke, of bands such as Close Call, District 9, and Scarhead. Hadn't seen Mike in a couple years, so it was nice to sit down. We had a nice chat, talked about a lot of things. So, roll that fucking footage. So, Mike, gotta ask this question: who the fuck is Bobby?
Bobby, oh my God. You mean behind red tape, Bobby?
Yeah, who's?
Yeah, he's a made up character in my head. How behind red tape came about? I used to work at the Hunts Point Market, and I used to take the 6 bus. I used to take the 35 bus first. You know what? I forgot what the number 2. I know it turned somewhere and it made a stop on one of the stops, and in the corner, it was a big mural. Rest in peace, Bobby.
Oh.
And in my head, I wondered, like, the same thing, like,
Yeah.
how that came about. So I made up a fucking story about Bobby.
So in other words, you just saw some Rest in Peace graffiti with
yeah.
Bobby, and you're like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna write the story.
Behind red tape, it says, "Where the graffiti be addressed to." You know what I'm saying?
Because I remember me and Caesar would always joke about it, like, who the fuck, do you know Bobby? I don't know. Was there a Bobby on the block that we missed?
No, yeah.
You know, and you know, because I could usually figure out certain things what they're written about, and I was just like, the fuck is Bobby?
It's a story. It's what I saw, and I thought about what led to that. Why is there a Rest in Peace Bobby? How old was he? You know what I'm saying? Like all these things. That's how, like the song just came about from the mural on the wall.
It's kind of funny in a way to be doing the interview here. Right now we're doing it on Grandview in 167. I've been coming to this building since 1992.
Yeah.
Because, that little room downstairs has sort of a lot of little history.
A lot of history.
For anyone who knows, Ray Maloon's mom used to be the super in this building. And Ray and his brother lived down in the basement apartments. And he had this little side room where he kept all his equipment. And, you'd go up here and you'd jam out for a little while.
And the dogs.
Oh, and the dogs. Constantly shitting and fucking causing chaos. Actually, those dogs used to scare the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They were nice dogs, but they were a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't understand it either, man. I didn't understand how we had to walk through. It was like walking through. I was like 20 years old, and I felt like a little 12-year-old kid walking past the dogs. Ray's like, just walk slow.
Yeah.
Just walk slow. And you're like, okay, bro, okay.
Can't you put them in another room,
Can't you just take them out of here?
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of funny how, because when you started, well, first off, let's go back a little bit. You grew up more or less here.
This is the same apartment I grew up in since I was about 7 or 8 years old. This is the apartment I grew up in. My mother died in this apartment. This apartment has a lot of fucking history in it too. So my sister's room now used to be our room, and my mother slept in that room over there. And I remember just growing up here. This is the only apartment that, you know what I'm saying? Besides living in Manhattan, because we had to move and stuff. It was rough growing up. My upbringing was pretty rough. You know what I'm saying? And seen a lot of traumatic shit. That a lot of it still bothers me to this day, because that's what I've been through, and it's crazy. It's like, a lot of people growing up in the Bronx in the 70s and 80s, I'm pretty sure they have trauma problems. Like I was told when I'm getting help now, because I've seen a lot of trauma, and I'm PTSD now.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they diagnosed me with PTSD because of all the trauma that I've been through growing up.
Well, not for nothing. I remember when I used to come here in the early 90s, this between here and Frank's place over on Elliott, fucking blocks were no joke back then, And
that's the 90s, bro.
And that was a little bit better than the 80s. Not much better, but it was still a lot better than it was, because by that point all the graffitis on the trains were gone.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit different of a world. But I remember coming up here and just thinking to myself, especially when I got off over here, like, oh my God, I got 2 blocks to fucking get up from the train. I hope nothing happens. Because then there'll be some wild shit you see in the street.
Yeah, I used to look out that window and see this block right here didn't have a street light.
Oh.
They put that street light in there, and when it was there, you were able to kick the pole and the lights would go off. So that was the only street light on this block. And you see this block, this building is the only one facing forward.
Yeah.
Everything else is the backs of all the other buildings. I used to see shit out that window, gang fights, stabbings, fighting with bats. When I was a kid, and I was just like, I mean, you could look out the window every day and see. We saw a lady getting like raped outside. The cops came. He had her butt ass naked. Like, that's my sister. It was me, my brother, and my sister. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the guy's beating the shit out of her, and making her do things to him. And then the cops arrested him. When they were putting the handcuffs on, took off. Pew! And cops chased. It was so crazy, man. Like, I've seen a lot of shit out these windows, man. I could write songs about the shit that I've seen out these windows, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure. How did you get into heavy music? Because I'm sure when you were growing up, you know, you were exposed to tons of Latin music, obviously, and then just rock and roll stuff.
Hip hop.
Hip hop was a big thing with you.
Yeah.
But how does like the metal thing come around, the rock thing come around?
Right, so it's my brother, my older brother, Jerry.
Yeah.
He used to go to Aviation High School in Queens, and I was still in junior high school. I was about 14 years old, and I listened to hip hop. I used to record the fucking you know, the midnight rap mix, Red Alert, Red Alert shows. I used to tape them, and then my brother came home with an amazing band that was one of my favorites. Metallica, Master of Puppets album. He brought it over, and it just blew me away. Like, I love that album, and Cliff Burton was one of my favorite bassists. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of that, and so I was still into hip hop, and now I'm getting into thrash. Started bringing home a lot of different things, you know, Testament, Flotsam and Jetsam. Started listening to Creator, Sepultura, you know, all those old, like, Virus was old, Suicidal. Started listening to shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And the more I listened to deeper, Slayer, King Diamond, all of that stuff, I just started getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the metal. And then I started listening to the Onslaught and, you know, Anthrax, of course, everybody listens to that. It's just so many bands that I can't even name. It's just, you know. But I started getting into metal, and the deeper I got into it, like I just wanted it. I just wanted more. Can you give me more Satan? Can you give me more? You know what I'm saying? Can you give me more of that? So I started getting into Venom.
Yeah,
you know, black metal and all that
Satan.
shit. Yo, I mean, I was a kid, and I was like, yo, I want more of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then listen to Suicidal, listen to DRI, and then I started that's when, about 16, I started crossing over, because I had somebody gave me the Agnostic Front, Liberty and Justice album. So now I'm getting more into that, because it was all fucking fast and hard, and it was brutal.
Yeah.
Like AF, then I got I got the Cro-Mags. You know, then I started getting into COC, Gorilla Biscuits, you know, and who didn't have that New York hardcore compilation?
Oh, yeah.
You know, with everybody on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started just getting more into hardcore. Like, I was still listening to like shit like DRI and Ludacris and stuff like that, but I wanted more hardcore. And that's when I started getting into one of my favorite bands, the band that influenced me, the guy that influenced me into wanting to be a singer, Killing Time, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking influence. I love Killing Time. Is one of my favorite hardcore bands.
Yeah, that
Raw
record.
Deal.
Yeah, that
Killing Time.
That record, Brightside was
yeah.
just a flawless victory from beginning to end.
Amazing.
You know, it's nuts.
Amazing. That's when I started like getting into Warzone. I bought that Warzone album. I had the sick of it all. You know, like I started just buying more hardcore.
Yeah.
I bought the Madball 7-inch with Freddie on there with
yeah.
Young, you know, and I just wanted more of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Killing Time was the band that broke me out. That's it. I want to sing for a band.
Because I remember, not a lot of. I mean, I've spoken to guys, and there wasn't really a hardcore scene up here. There were hardcore kids,
right?
And there were punk rock kids, but what you saw mostly come out of the Bronx was metal, and you saw it in this area, but you saw more up north.
Tremont.
Up north, up by Westchester Square area, like.
Tremont Avenue. Freddie played for Kilowatts back in the day.
And there were a lot of metal bands that sort of like. I mean, I've seen a lot of kids, like, I remember a lot of the earlier shows we both played, you would see that random fucking metal band.
Yeah.
Like.
Morbidon.
Fucking.
Rampage.
Super Duper.
Yeah, Super Duper. Reconstruction.
Oh my God. And it's like these, Spanish money's fucking just.
Yeah.
But they also had to look down with the fucking with the tight leg jeans and the fucking high top fucking knives. They were doing that style.
I started like getting back to Ray Malone. So I was coming from school one day. I used to go to Morris High School, and I for some reason or another I took the train that day, and I saw Ray Malone on the train, and he had his vest with the patch on the back, and we got along. You know what I'm saying? So. Next thing you know, he's like downstairs, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And his mother ended up being the super of this building. So me and Ray Malone go way back. Yeah. So since when I met him. So he was always, playing drums and shit downstairs. He used to listen to a lot of, Death. The band Death. And he used to listen to a lot of
Suffocation.
All of that shit like that.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was into like the blast beat style fucking metal. I remember.
That's what all of them and Che and Carlos were always there because they were all into the same music, but they were Dominican. You know what I'm saying? And it was amazing. It was like, all right, here's Jose and Carlos, and they're like fucking. I've never heard playing like this. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always like but they did it different. You know what I'm saying? They had a groove to it. You know what I'm saying? And they had a black guy singing for them in the basement. And I go down and I just watch them practice, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do that. Yeah. So I don't know. For some reason, the singer he left or got kicked out or whatever, and I asked if I could do it. Our first song was I. That was our very first song that we ever wrote and did over and over and over because it was like our song. Yeah. It's like, yo, we got a song.
It's like we're gonna beat it to death.
Yeah.
How did Loki come into the picture?
Loki, so we needed a bassist.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who used to play bass. Oh, Rob. This guy named Rob. He used to play bass for us. He had long hair. He was another Spanish cat too. He left. And we were at the Chippewa Club. Remember we played the Chippewa Club way back. Way back in the day. And I saw Rampage. Everybody had Rampage shirts and Rampage hats. And I'm like, who's Rampage? You know what I'm saying? I never heard of. So they get up on stage and fucking there's this guy playing bass. And he's like, the whole time just playing bass and headbanging. But he had the groove because Rampage was one of those other bands that kind of had a groove to it too. Yeah. So I basically went down to Bronin's where Loki used to work and stole him. Told him, yo, you want to play for Close Call? Because Close Call made, I guess we had that made an impression on people. Yeah. And they were like, yo, there's a new band, Close Call. So when I went up to him, I said, we want to play for Close Call. He was like, yeah, without a doubt. And that's how Loki came into Close Call.
It's funny that you mentioned Rampage because I remember when I started going up to Bronin's, I was like, Joey had everything Rampage, and I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
And I was like we had, my old band had no fucking merch. You guys had no merch.
Nothing. We had nothing.
And I'm like, but yet Rampage barely played shows.
I had like business cards that I made at Woolworth for $1. It was like 4 for $1. I made Close Call business cards. It was amazing, but it's crazy, man. Like, just I can't, like, everything's a blur, like I told you before, but just now, like remembering, like, leaving to a show, we're gonna go play a show. We had 4 solid songs, and we played a high school talent show. You know, we had Stand Out, Game of Politics, and our intro. It was
Speed Knot?
Speed Knot. Thank
Knot.
you. You know more of this shit than I do. So we had that, and we fucking played those songs all the time, and we just started getting tighter and tighter, and change this, let's change this. I would analyze it, I'd listen to it all day, and just be like, yo, let's try this to this, this to this. And those are the first close call songs that just follow me.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
They constantly will still pop up in a set, you know, like all right, but they're good songs.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of songs that we have, you know, because we evolved from Close Call, we turned into District 9.
Yeah.
When Che and Carlos left, and we had our first demo already, it's Close Call, and then Loki came to me one day, and he's like, you know what, let's change our name. Close Call is kind of like the kid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
and actually at that time, there was actually another Close Call in
yeah, and so he's like, let's change the name. And Loki was when I changed the name. He's like, let's call ourselves District 9. And I was like, District 9? And he's like, the school district, that's our school district, our city.
Yeah.
You know, where we're from, we're in District 9. And I was like, that's amazing, bro. Let's use District 9.
Caesar told me that he had originally tried out for Close Call, and you dissed the fuck out of him.
Caesar, you remember that day, man. Come on, man. You were slipping. Caesar tried out, first of all, Caesar tried out when he was 13 years old. That's how long I know Caesar. I know Caesar was 12 years old. And Caesar tried out at about 13 years old in the basement, right down the block from where Metal Madness was.
All right, I remember.
Okay, you know what Metal Madness was?
I know exactly what
we went to a building in the basement where I think where Rampage used to practice, some band used to practice. He tried out and he was just not cutting it. And I told him straight up, I was like, yo, you suck, basically. And you know, straight up, you suck. Yeah. And I guess he took that home with him, man. And I didn't mean to break his heart or put him down. You know, he's trying. Fucking 2 years later, this kid blows the fuck up, and I'm like, what? I guess he took what I told him, and he made it his engine to push forward. You know.
He went home, put the voodoo pictures of him, like, I'll show you, you mother.
Yeah, exactly. And 2 years later, man, this kid is fucking pumping out riffs. Like, I'm like, yo, all right, you're gonna do it, bro. So we had Todd in the band and Caesar, of course, in the band. 15 years old, Caesar. First District 9 record. Caesar recorded it. He did both guitars because Todd was on tour in Japan with Warzone at the time. So Caesar did both rhythm and lead guitar on that. He did a pretty good job. That 7-inch is a cult classic, I guess, man, because people still love that shit. I went to Japan on tour with Scarhead, and kids were coming with the District 9 7-inch, the first one, for me to sign.
I had people in California asking if you guys were going to play our wedding.
Oh, really?
That's
crazy.
That you guys were doing District 9.
It's amazing how, like, it's a good feeling for me because I wrote these songs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
District 9, Close Call, My Babies, 9 is my baby, and I never gave up on it. And I love those songs, and like I tell everybody, that style, the District 9 style, you can't duplicate it. No, you cannot duplicate it.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's like my running music.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We have a unique sound. I think we have a unique sound. It's hardcore, but it's not just hardcore.
Mm-hmm. No, well, there's like me and Caesar talking about, there's a certain swagger that music has, you know, and, you know, when I was playing the band, we had so many different lineups, and some people did great with it, other people did okay with it, you know, and it was just like, there was a certain swagger you had to have, and I guess why I fit in at the time is just because of the Fahrenheit thing, especially. That band had a swagger.
Yeah.
They had, you know, we had our own little thing going on, so it was like, you know, you got to learn how to, you know, it's all those Latin rhythms.
That's what I was telling Caesar the other day. He came over to see me, and I said, Caesar, you got to understand, bro. you were bred District 9. Like, you are the District 9 sound. You are the guy, you know what I'm saying, that has that. So he's the sound of District 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Swag.
That swag.
Yeah.
But he was bred, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was brought up since he was a kid with these fucking songs, these riffs. You know what I'm saying? So I told him the other day, I was like, yo, listen, you are District 9. You are the sound of District 9 because you're the only one that can duplicate you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing like running a race, singing the letter out loud, and people looking at you like you got six head. But that song, like, you know, it's
The
got a
letter,
great beat.
I remember. See, I'm also the sound of District 9 because me and Caesar used to sit down, and I used to hum songs to him, riffs to him, and he used to duplicate them on his guitar. So the letter, the intro, was always just like the fast part. By the time this letter. So we never had an intro for the letter. And one day me and Caesar sitting there and I'm like, yo, do this. And I started going, boom, 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 and he did it.
Yeah.
It was the intro for fucking the letter.
That song's like one of my favorites.
It's my favorite too, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. We recorded that song finally because we got a lot of good songs, man, that we haven't, like I still feel like the songs that we've done back in the day could be done now. That's why I re-recorded a lot of the songs on the second 7-inch, just to show like, yo, these songs are really good, guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's put them on fucking wax. Victim, all we had was a live recording, and you couldn't feel it. You couldn't really get.
It was more not for nothing that live recording because I remember when Kevin Gill had those printed up, the live New York Hardcore soundtrack. I brought over to Ray Green,
right,
who played on it, and he was like. And Ray had this look on his face, like, what the fuck is this?
What do you mean, the live stuff?
Yeah, like
yeah.
The sonically,
yeah.
That recording was.
It was toast.
Yeah, it was just like wow.
It was toast, but it was something that.
It was something. It was better than having
that put us out there. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to like Kevin Gill and fucking Frank, right? Frank.
Pavic.
Pavic. Frank Pavic. Like, Frank, I love you, bro. You're my brother, man. I love you. But your last name is hard to remember. Thanks to them, they put us on a documentary that, you know what I'm saying, that we were just still fresh. District 9 jumped on that documentary, and we were still like a fresh band. And that documentary itself just put us out there. Like, it was a big push for us, man. There's a lot of things. I think us not playing shows either gave us a push because everybody's like, why isn't District 9 playing this fucking show? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were on the bill, but we wouldn't show up. And everybody's like, man, it's like a love-hate relationship with District 9 because they would love to see us, but they hate when we don't show up. You know?
Oh my god. Well, you guys, I remember, especially back in '95, you know, you guys were great, but you also like the gang that couldn't shoot straight. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, yo, that's how I always saw it. Because I'm like, you know, it's like, wow, this band can't get their shit together. Because you'd have the songs and everything, but then there'd be like so many, like there'd be a half a dozen little problems intermixed in the band. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And, you know, and you know, I mean. You know, I'm not taking no credit for this, but when I started playing back in 2000 with you guys, all those problems went away.
Yeah, basically.
You know, just because I was like, no, that's gone. The feedback issue, gone. That's gone.
We didn't have we were just still young, fresh. You know what I'm saying? We didn't, you know, Caesar was still young, doing his thing on his guitar. And he didn't really have a sound. He had the music, but he didn't have a sound.
No,
you know.
Oh, well, that was also like we talked about it. You know, a lot of the gear you guys used was our stuff,
right?
You know, because the guys just didn't have. You know, I think the only person who had
that was something we had to do because if not, we'd have to fucking lug it on the train.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know what? Fuck the train. We're not going. Let's fucking buy another bag of blow and another bag of fucking weed and kick it on.
That would happen regardless, though.
There's a weed spot over there. There's a weed spot over there. We spot back here. No, that's
and the coke place is right over there.
The coke place was right in the same places. But that's what was wrong with us. It was like we didn't take it serious. We weren't serious with the shit. We we all personally knew that we were a good band, that we could have probably made it, you know, a little further than we did. So.
Well, I remember you guys also back in the Close Call days, you know, because same thing without a cause, we all had quote unquote managers.
Right.
You know, people who basically we were just kind of scamming money from them. Right. You know, because we had a couple of dudes. We had one dude that Ray Maloon brought around and I think Ray only said, "You're our manager," so he could like buy so this motherfucker buy him cymbals and drumsticks.
Yeah.
You know, and then you guys had the kid Dave. And the funny thing with Dave, I went to school with him.
Really?
Yeah, I went to school with him for a year, and I was just like, and when he popped up,
that shit serious too. At Wetlands with a fucking suit and fucking cell phone, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And this is back when if you had a cell phone, you were balling.
Well, they you know those kids were balling, man. That kid Dave was like Central Park West. You know what I'm saying? Like father was a businessman. You know what I'm saying? But when he showed up to Wetlands, it's like I'm wearing, you know, in a suit. I was like, yo, you're taking this manager shit a little bit too serious, brother. We're a hardcore band. But he was really pushing for us, man. He had faith in us, and he was really trying to get us signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess that's another reason why, because we didn't show up to shit and stuff like that. We were real. We were not trustworthy, I guess is the word I want to say, or just not reliable to play back in the day, you know, because what was more important to us was our fucking drugs.
Yeah, well, unfortunately those things do happen, you know, yeah. Those things do happen. It's just talking off camera a little bit, and like I said, I always felt like when it came to like the Bronx, you know, there were a handful of bands like, you know, at first it was Close Call, and then District 9, and then, you know, with us, you know, Without a Cause had a lot of Bronx members, and then Fahrenheit had a lot of Bronx members. It was sort of, right. I don't want to say we were ruling the roost around here, but, you know, there was definitely, you know, we definitely, I don't want to say put the Bronx on the map,
right.
But nobody else was really doing it at that time. The Bronx really didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Club-wise, I mean, that's the one thing we never really had up here was clubs. You know, we had a couple of sporadic things happen, like when Mullali's used to do shows.
Yeah.
Or what was the other place? The Train Depot.
Yeah, I remember that place too. I
remember,
it was amazing. I mean, it was like that to us was like our that's what made us what we are, who we are today. Like those shows and wow. Like I said, everything's a blur, but you keep spitting shit out, and I just keep remembering. I'm like, it comes to me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, nobody else was talking Bronx, you know what I'm saying? Bronx, and I wanted to make sure that people knew that we were from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Because we weren't from the Lower East Side, and we weren't from Queens.
Yeah.
We were from the fucking boogie down Bronx.
And you know, especially between you and even Armando, you guys brought that hip hop element. You know, you brought the flavor over to what, you know, to everybody else. And there were Bronx hardcore kids. Right. You know, we had an abundance up here, but we really didn't have our own place up here.
Right.
It was never like a specific, like how we had Bond Street early on. Right. You know, like we all, a lot of us all gravitated down to Bond Street, which, you know, a lot of people tend to forget. You know, there was a lull in the scene with clubs because CB's wasn't happening. Wetlands had, at that point, Wetlands wasn't really doing the hardcore thing that much, and Coney wasn't out yet, you know. So it was like, you know, we all gravitated at one spot because it was easy to get to.
Right. You
know, all you had to do really was show up with real basic equipment, jump on stage and play.
Basically. I mean, we had the gas station too, right? What was that place?
There was a gas station, but
that shit was like, it was a gas station, an old gas station garage.
It's actually the last place G.G. Allen played.
Yeah.
You know, and then he OD'd and got beat up.
He got beat up. That's crazy, man. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, I guess me and Armando go way back because I know there's a yearbook out there, and I think Armando has it. I used to go to school with Armando, and they had, you know how they take the pictures of class clowns? And
yeah.
So me and Armando were class clowns, and there's a picture of me and Armando. We didn't know each other.
Yeah.
But we're in the same picture. Little kids, junior high school. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit. But I didn't know that. But anyway, yeah. I met Frank and I'm 15 years old. I met them on Ellie. I was walking. Well, not walking. I was running from. I used to go to junior ROTC, and I was running from my sergeant, and then we ended up like I ended up like cutting through Elliot to try to fucking like, cause he was behind me. He was just jogging, but he was.
Yeah.
I was already tired. He would have caught me. Anyway, I run down Elliot and fucking Frank, Armando, and Mark outside playing men. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Flash, where? And I go to the stoop and I just started hanging out with them like my daughter does with little kids. Hi, you know what I'm saying? Like walk up to hi. So I did that, and then it was history from there, man. Like I started going to Elliot all the time, hanging out at Frank and Frank's house and stuff like that, and man, like I became part of the family, Frank's family. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm his daughter's godfather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we were all close, all of us. You know what I'm saying? We have 20 more than 25 years of friendship, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I spoke to Caesar about this too. It's like, especially with the District 9 thing, basically everyone in Fahrenheit has been in District 9 at one point or another.
Basically.
You know, and, so we were interchangeable fucking band members.
Well, you know what? You see the bands from Queens, they use each other.
Yeah.
All the old school hardcore bands use each other. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All we had was each other.
But we all know, like, we all know what we're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how to play what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I had tons of people after District 9 breakup in 90, I think it was 95, 94.
And in 95.
Yeah.
That's when Loki ran away to join the circus.
Joined the circus, and then he moved to Colorado anyway. Yeah, I mean, I can't say much about that, but at that time when we all broke up, I had a slew of people playing for District 9. Like, you know, Lou started playing. Lou played for District 9, and I had
Dre.
Yeah, it was.
You had a lot of.
I even had Ernie from
Black
Token
Train Jack.
Entry. Token Entry, right?
Yeah.
Ernie.
Yeah.
And he was a Black Train Jack. He played for us for a little bit too. You know, and that was all Todd, you know what I'm saying? Then we did the reunion show in 2007, and it was like half a war zone.
Yeah.
Kill Your Idols, and, you know, like fucking Rafe on drums, and,
yeah,
you know?
There were a lot of wacky lineups. I mean, like I said, I always, you know, to me, the band, you know, the one band that had the best swagger was that last big lineup, you know, when it was like Lou, me,
Susan,
Todd, and C.
Todd is so fucking amazing on bass.
Oh yeah,
like, that guy is evolved, man. He's like.
No, what it is though, that's the other influences creeping in.
Yeah.
You know, because we were never. What people have to understand, we were never afraid to bring outside. It wasn't all about the metal and the hardcore. It was also about bringing in other ears into things like fusion, jazz, you know, hip hop, bringing all that shit into the mix, and then spitting it back out. And that's why that band sounded the way it did.
Yeah.
You know, and it to me, I was just like
I said, it's a sound that can't be duplicated.
It's hard.
All up here.
It's hard, you know, and we've had some people in the band, especially when I was in the band in that 2000s before we got that lineup, where there's some people who did well, but it wasn't really the same thing.
Right.
Like I said, and like I said, Lou got it. You know, Lou understood it, and you know he had that swagger, and I was just like, and you know, because there were times during that time where Caesar would play with us for a show, then he would dip out, they would play, Caesar had his own thing going on at the time, which I get, you know.
Even Holla, Al played at drums for us.
Yeah.
When we did Addicts, the first recording for Creepy Crawl.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, where the hell, like, we had crazy people playing in the band, man. You know? Al is passed away now, rest in peace. He was a good friend of mine too. Like, we're all friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we use we play with each other's bands, because we know, you know, we used to support each other at shows, you know, and then the scene grew around us. Like, the scene got bigger. We used to play Bond Street, and there were bands from Queens. There were two bands. What was it? Out of Line Queens and Out of Line Brooklyn or something like that. Like, all of us.
Fear of Life, Eminon.
Yeah.
You know, you had all these. You got all these little scenes.
Lament.
What?
You know, the Scandato Brothers, Lament. You know?
Oh, Scandato Brothers and fucking those
Shut
guys.
Down.
Lament, Shut Down, Inhuman.
Inhuman, yeah.
Confusion.
It's crazy. It's like what the shit that we listened to when we were doing our bands. You know, it was great, man. It was. We had our own thing. That was our thing. You know what I'm saying?
I actually always enjoyed the hip hop interludes we used to do. It'd be like all of a sudden the drummer would, whoever was playing drums would just start playing, and you would just like start spitting out lyrics.
Fucking rapping.
Yeah.
And like that's the hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it didn't come off as like when other people try to do it, and it's just like, oh, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. There's some dudes who would do it and you'd be like, but you're white. Why?
It's like I think me and Isaac brought nigga into hardcore without it being racist. You know what I'm saying? Because who says nigga as much as me and Isaac on songs in hardcore? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We bought that shit in because usually back in the day it was like nigger.
Well, you were the one person I knew. I'm gonna tell Mike can recite Screwdriver lyrics like it's gonna. There's nothing wrong with though, because everyone listens to it with humor. You know, you have to kind of find it as fucked up as those lyrics are. You find it funny because it's almost as bad as some fucking hardcore rap. It really is. It's like, wow, this is shocking. Speaking of hardcore, that you played with Scarhead for a while too.
Yep. Right after District 9, the big breakup in 98, 99, when the Kings of Crime album came out.
Yeah.
They were looking for a singer, and Armando suggested to Vaughn, hey, Mike, Mike would be a good fit in Scarhead.
Yeah.
And they ran it by Isaac, and he had no problem with it. He was like, yeah. So when I joined Scarhead, they sent me the albums. They were like, these are the songs you gotta learn. We gotta learn them in a couple of days because we leave to Europe to do a tour and to do a show, and you have to learn these songs. So I was still on the plane learning Scarhead songs. I actually changed the lyrics to a lot of the songs because I'm not doing that look out Jack, here comes the head crack shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I changed a lot of the lyrics, man. But me and Isaac, like people, I don't know if people know this or not, but I've been in Scarhead since like 99.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 2000. And I mean, there's little Scarhead lines because I moved away, but there's Scarhead lineups here and there. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on this new album. If we do a new album, I'm going to be on it. Finally, my first album with Scarhead, besides that live shit. I mean, I've done so much with Scarhead, like they've taken me all over the place, man. Places that I've never been. And now I understand what Hoya talks about when he's like, I can't believe this music got me a nigga from the streets. I'm over here in fucking Italy. I'm over here in France. I'm over here in Tokyo, Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's taking me to amazing places, man. And too bad that back in the day, I wasn't appreciative of it. That I never went sightseeing and I never did this and that. I'd rather fucking be drunk and high.
You know what though? It's a lot of times, even when we used to tour, it's a lot of times you're in the van, you're going to the club, you have a real little window to see shit in anyway.
Yeah.
It's like by the time you get to where you gotta go, you go, oh look, there it is. Fuck, we gotta get back. Yeah.
But I mean,
sightseeing and tours.
Once you're there, look at your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were in fucking we were in Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we didn't do any walk. I mean, I don't know if anybody else did. I know I didn't do no walking around because I'm like, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? I just want to fucking go home. You know? I never appreciated it, man. And now if we do go to it, I'm going to take, because I see a lot of people that go on vacation and take pictures of everything. And it's amazing the places we've been to in Europe with all that history. And I never fucking did anything. I never was like, taking pictures.
Well, now we have our cell phones that can do all that.
I had a cell phone when we went the last time.
Well, no, even like with the cameras now.
Well, yeah.
The camera grades that are up on the phones.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. And Yeah, I've done Scarhead. I mean, Scarhead's taken me to a lot of fucking places. I'm real appreciative to Ezak too, because he believes in me. Like, he's the only. I get it from a lot of people, but Ezak's like, yo, Myke, you are a talented motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you need to fucking do something with it. And he gets mad at me when I'm like, nah, nigga, yeah, I just want to fucking chill. You know, he's like, you're a fucking waste of talent, bro. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna push. I'm gonna do what Caesar did, and I'm gonna push. Try to do another Puerto Rican Myke album, you know, and because people want to hear my music. Damien Burns told me, Myke, you need to do a fucking album, bro. You are fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your delivery is fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take what niggas saying. I'm gonna just ride with it, and maybe you'll see District 9 again, and maybe you'll see Puerto Rican Myke album.
Is that a wink wink?
Huh?
Is that a wink wink?
It was a double wink, because it's like, yeah, I mean, we're sitting right here, so
Yeah, well,
we might do a little something. for you
we
guys.
can't really say anything else, so we'll just leave it at that. You can figure out what's going on, but not say anything. But you became a family man, you know, which is always, I always say shocking, but, you know, because as everyone's getting older, a lot of my friends are turning into dads or moms or whatever, and
Right.
and I mean, you always were good, like with Peeps, you know, bringing him up and and everything like that. So I really didn't see it as a shock that, you know, like, oh, Myke's a dad.
Yeah, I saw it as a shock too, like Myke's a dad. I mean, like, I met my girl at the time, my wife. I met her touring with Scarhead. You know what I'm saying? And we played at a bar in Arizona that her brother owned. And I see this fucking girl walk. I'm like, who the fuck is this girl, man? Like, she was banging, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, anyway,
I know how you roll.
Shut up! I met you on fucking tour too.
She was just like, she was beautiful. I think my wife is beautiful. But anyway, fast forward, I finally met a girl that understands me and that I'm really in love with. Because I used to say love. I used to use that word loosely, man, because I figured that it got me something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got me something with the girl, you know, with the girls I was with. But
Well, yeah, you were using love in a shallow term.
right. I never loved any of the girls I was with because I cheated on everybody
Yeah.
multiple times. And I met Kelly, and she started raising her son, beautiful kid, Diego. And I started raising him, and then the family thing started hitting me, and I'm like, you know, I want to have, you know, a baby. I always wanted a little girl. It's crazy. So when we played 2013, the B&B,
Yeah.
I asked Kelly to marry me. You know what I'm saying? Because I really felt like this is the one I want to be with for the rest of my life. Like, this is the girl that I'm in love with. And got her pregnant in the bathroom of fucking Webster Hall.
You want to be saying this on camera?
Hey, that was my wife. We got married the day before the B&B Bowl. And what perfect place to fucking make a baby than at a hardcore fucking show.
In a grimy bathroom.
No, it wasn't the grimy bathroom.
It
No, I know which bathroom. He went to the nice one on the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
other
nice
side,
one was
yeah,
the
like-
shower in it.
Yeah.
I know where he went.
I love that girl, and she gave me a beautiful daughter, man. I love my family. I love my wife. Family, man, you know. My whole perspective of life changed, man.
Well, you're also, you know, to bring up this sensitive subject, but, you know, you're also clean and sober for the first time in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's definitely got to affect your psyche in some sort of way.
It's like it affects me in a way that I don't even know who I am anymore, bro. Because I've been on drugs since I was fucking 13 years old, and that drug person was the one that I always knew myself as, the party guy, the fucking loud motherfucker. And now that I'm not doing that, I'm like, well, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that loud person anymore. You know, it's like
Well, you're rediscovering who you are. You know,
at 46 years old though, like come on, you know
a
what I'm saying? Like
you're not, yeah, but you're not the
I
first
should've-
person
I
to come out of that where you go, well, who am I really?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's
but
confusing.
you know, that don't
It makes
happen
me want to do
overnight.
drugs again. No, yeah.
No,
Actually, I appreciate you not drinking and conversation content
no,
in
no.
front of me. So I just want to throw that out there.
No,
Thank you. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard being sober, clean and sober. It's really hard. That's why they always use the term day by day, because you don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know what could happen in a few hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard, especially going to shows and seeing everybody drinking, your friends drinking, and having a good time, and you want to do that, but you know you shouldn't, or you know you don't want to, because you don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard, man. But if I love my friends, and I'm not gonna fucking stop hanging out with them just because they choose to do what they want to do. You know, I gotta man up, and I gotta keep my word to myself, to be a father, be a good husband, be a
Well, you
clean
want
and
you
sober
want to be
person.
the thing is you want to be around for your family. You last couple of years, you were definitely on the verge of taking it one step too far. There was that point in your life where it was like, fuck, I gotta either straighten up or I'm gonna be 6 feet.
But that's the point, is that I didn't want to straighten up, and I didn't care, because the drugs meant more to me
Yeah.
than anything else. Until last year. Last year was a really hard year for me, and I went through a lot, and I hit bottom. I hit rock fucking bottom, and I hit it so hard that I just didn't want to live anymore, and I actually tried to take my life with taking a bunch of pills. And it was such a dark place, and depression and everything. I just don't want to be there anymore. So
Yeah.
I ended up, my brothers, I got a lot of good brothers, man, that love me, and they pulled for me, and they're like, yo, you need to go to rehab, you need to go in. And I didn't want it until I hit the bottom, and then I was like, you know what, I need help. And I finally went into rehab in Pasadena, California, and I was there for a month, and I just missed my family so much, man. I got a little certificate finishing, the 30 days, but I just wanted to be with my family, you know what I'm saying? And that little girl, like I said, that little girl and that little boy, man, they changed my life, man, and I want to be there for them, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do now.
You seem like and I know every day is another day, but you're doing it, and that's all you can do.
I am. I mean, I still get angry. I get help. I get help, and I get anger management. I get one-on-one therapy. Take medicine. Because I mean, not just for depression, but I from doing so many drugs.
Yeah.
I also had a heart attack last year that I got a stent put in to my heart, and even that didn't make me see the light, because after I had the heart attack, I was clean for about a week or two, and then right back into the fucking drugs.
Yeah, unfortunately those things do happen, dude. I've known a lot of guys who've come straight out of fucking something, and they don't even wait 24 hours. It's like, pow, back again. I think this time around you had, for kids' sake, you have your head on straight.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
For them at least, for your wife at least,
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. It's about that family right now.
And that's all I have. You know what I'm saying? I have my family here in the Bronx. I got my sister that loves me to death, and I love her to death. But like, all I got is like, my older brother, Jerry, Pete, my younger brother Angel, and my sister, and then my family at home, which I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main people I care about, man. And all my brothers and friends like you and Frank and Steve. I love all of you guys the same. And it's just, we've had so many years as friends, man, that you can't lose that for anything. No matter what happened with District 9, no matter what happened with whatever went on with us, you can't throw 20 some odd years away.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you know, I mean, we're brothers. We always get mad at each other.
Yeah.
We tend to make up because, you know,
That's what family does.
that's what family does.
Yeah.
You know, you grow beyond it. You know, and I think we were both mature enough in general just to be like, let's move past this.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who hold grudges for 20 some odd years, and we've all had. I've definitely have some people who've held grudges against me for fucking a decade and change, and there's reasons for that though.
Yeah.
You know, something.
I think the separation did us good.
No,
I think it made us both realize that, you know what, it was a really stupid reason. Well, for whatever reason it was really stupid to stop talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because not only does my actions, your actions, or whatever, we're all friends, and our actions affect everybody.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because you have friends that are tighter with you than with me, and I have friends that are tighter with me than with you, and they're like, well, what are we doing? Are we cutting Lenny off, or are we cutting Myke off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't do that because it affects everybody. And we're all friends. We have more than 20 years, everybody. So.
You know, the funny thing is, even with everything that we went through, the whole ordeal, there wasn't a day that we didn't go by wondering how you were doing, if you were okay.
Oh yeah, no, I would definitely put the feelers out there to find out what was going on, how you know, how you were doing and shit, just cause.
Well, I was on heavy drugs.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, and honestly, I wish I could have been there more for you than that, but I had been down that road once before with someone, and what the problem with that was, it wasn't just a band thing, it was a neighborhood thing as well.
Right.
So there was a lot of, you know, blame being thrown my way for people who it was none of their fucking business.
Right.
You know, and it was like,
you lucky you didn't get shot on stage like that dude that shot Dimebag.
I can take care of myself.
You broke up District 9! You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that I was never ever worried about. I just think it's funny though. Like I said, you know, shit comes full circle. You know, again, family fights, and that's the way it goes. You know.
You're right.
What, real quickly, what do you feel about the state of what you see hardcore being now compared to what we were doing back in the 90s? You know, band-wise.
Like the music kids
are putting out today, and just, you know, the new generation coming up.
It's like us. It's like, what did people think of us when we were doing our thing?
Yeah.
Because we were doing, you know, our thing, and you wonder, do the older guys, did they like us, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the newer generation is just making it. Let's just say this. I hope that the new kids that are doing hardcore these days don't take it to the level that these kids that are doing hip hop now have taken it. That it's turned hip hop into shit. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody that's doing hardcore. Hardcore is our music. Fucking respect it and be good to it and do it right. If you're gonna do hardcore, do it right. Don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when it gets too much. That's when, you know. That's when I don't ever think I'm gonna ever stop listening to hardcore, but that's when I'll stop listening to new bands.
Well, I've actually stopped listening to some new bands because fortunately, some of them just don't do nothing for me.
Yeah.
Where, you know, but I also just don't listen to hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, 24 hours a day. You know, there's a lot of other music that's in my library, always will be.
Yeah, just
you know,
me, yeah.
Oh, you know, like I tell people, you got to keep your ears wide open. You got to keep your ears wide open, people, because
it's not all. Doesn't always have to be hardcore. You have to have an open mind to music itself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're just gonna listen to hardcore your whole life, like you're gonna make your life hardcore, you're gonna be an angry person.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, that's it, man. I mean, I want to give a shout to. There's a new band out there, Regulate,
Yes.
and they cover District 9, and I've watched their shows, and I think they're a pretty good band. I mean, I want to give a shout to them, and kids that are listening to hardcore, they want to listen to new hardcore, they do hardcore, you know, listen to Regulate, and you guys are going to get a surprise soon, that's all I'm saying. So,
Mike, thank you, brother.
all right, brother, man. I love you, bro.
Peace.
Peace out, everybody.